Hey, how's it going? So, first of all, I would like to thank you guys for the overwhelming response I got from the last video. It was so awesome to see such a positive response from you guys, and I'm so glad we're making this series together. And second of all, I would like to apologize for the huge gap between the first video and this video. I didn't get much time to make this video, and by saying not getting much time, I meant procrastinating quite a bit. So now that the intro's out of the way, let's get into the video. Okay, welcome to the first part of the series, everyone. Now, what I thought we would start with is the sprites. So, if you guys don't know what a sprite is basically the artwork of everything, essentially. How the main character will look, how the level will look, how the level design will look, how the background of the level will look, how the enemies will look. So essentially, it's essentially just artwork, and this will probably be the toughest part of this project for me, at least, because I am terrible at art, and that is an understatement to how bad I am. I am horrendous at it. So I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat, this game will not look very good, but I'm going to try my best to make it as good as I can. Okay, so I got to work on the main character. Now I'm going to use multiple drafts because not only do I have to make the main character, I have to animate the main character. So I have to make something which can be easily animated by my skills. So I'm going to start making it, and then I'm going to show you the end of draft 1. Okay, here's the first draft. I know it was going to be bad, but I didn't know it was going to be this bad. This is terrible. Okay, so I'm definitely not going to use this. I'm going to try to make uh, a a very easy main character, something which is very easy to animate. So at least it'll look good even if it's simplistic. Okay, so then I got to work on the second draft, and now what I try to do in the second draft is I try to make it very simplistic, and I kind of got the idea of the game as well. So essentially, I am making the idea of the game based on what I can actually make in the sprites. So this is the second draft. I call him Walter the Water Bubble because it's essentially just a sphere. Actually, not a sphere, just a circle. And because a circle is pretty easy to animate, the walking and the jumping animations. So that's why I use this. And I gave him a kind of a watery kind of element to him. So I thought I'll make different characters with all the elements, earth, fire, water, air, etc. All of that. So I think we've got a main character. So everybody say hello to Walter the Water Bubble. Okay, now comes the tough part. I have to animate the main character. Now, a huge part as to why I made the main character a water bubble is because a bubble is essentially a circle, and circles are relatively easier to animate than anything else because they have less moving parts and a single, foundation, which is the center. So, what we have to do is we have to animate the main character and make animations for the main character jumping, the animations for the main character walking, and the animations for the main character staying still, the idle animation. Okay, so then I got to work on the animations. This is what I ended up with for the jumping animation. Now, not it isn't bad and it isn't the best either. It's pretty okay, and for my skill set, I think it's pretty good. Uh, but overall, it's pretty okay. Then we have the walking animation, which is again the same thing. There's not much work put into this because you don't really need to put much work because it's it's a water bubble. But anyway, it's fine. It's not the greatest. It's not the best. Okay, so we have a main character. Fantastic. Now let's get to work on the enemy sprite. Now I brainstormed a while what to make the enemy of, like how to make it, and I thought why don't we take a main character, into topic. So let's look at this practically. Our main character is a water bubble, and what is harmful to bubbles? Sharp surfaces. So I thought, why don't we make an enemy that shoots spikes? So spike, water bubble, so that, and so then I got to work on the enemy sprite. And this is the end of draft 1. And you know what, I kind of like it. I think it's pretty good, for my skills at least. I'm pretty sure almost everyone can do a much better job than me, but I personally like it quite a bit, so I think we're going to stick with this. So we have our enemy sprite. Okay, so we have a main character and we have our enemy. Now, I thought, why don't we make the background and the foreground, i.e., the background of how the level will look, and the foreground on which the main character and the enemies, will be placed and will walk on and stuff. So I thought, for the first level, why don't we go for a more castle ruiny kind of thing, kind of level themed level. What am I saying? Level themed level. Okay, a castle themed level, a kind of a ruins castle themed level. So then I got to work on the background. And this is how the background looks. It took a little bit longer than usual. I saw a tutorial on how to make it, and I think it came out looking pretty good. It's not the best, but for my skill set, I think this is the best I can do. Okay, now let's start working on the foreground. Now, for the foreground, it shouldn't be too hard. I'm just going to recycle a bit of the background I made, and I'm going to space out the cracks a bit, and I'm just going to increase the brightness a bit more and lower the brightness of the background, so you can tell the difference between the background and the foreground. And this is it. And again, it's pretty much the same as the background, except for a few minute differences, so I think it's pretty good. Okay, I think we have the fundamentals of the demo level we need for the sprites at least. Like we have the enemy, we have the main character, we have the animations for the main character, the foreground and the background, and I think that's enough for a demo level. So I think that's about it for this video. And if you're new, if you could like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And I think that's about it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.